G'day YouTube, my name's Lance and welcome to Bundy Bear's Shed. Well, the weather report, it's been hot. We've still been getting 37 degree days and probably backing off a little bit at the moment, so yeah, I think today will be 35 or something like that. So the nights aren't too bad, it does cool off so you can get a bit of respite, but yeah, not to worry. That's why we live in Queensland. We don't mind the heat so much. Look, with the YouTube channel, with Bundy Bear's Shed, through the week, or yesterday, Saturday, we just hit 5,000 subscribers. And look, that's a great little milestone to come across. Yeah, I was pleased, and the channel's slowly growing. And yeah, it puts along, and some weekends I just put out a bit of a stew, and sometimes I think the content's a bit crappy, but it's just mainly keeping in touch with everyone. And other days we have quite good content, I believe. But anyway, it's a bit of a mixed bag, like the mother-in-law, really. But anyway, we won't talk about that. Not safe, really. And but look, I'd just like to thank everyone for subscribing, and those that have been with me for a long time now. Some of you have been there right from the start, and have a little chat every week and say good day and drop in a comment and things like that. So look, I do appreciate it. The channel's skipping along quite well, and look, just out of interest, you see the analytics in the back of YouTube channels, and look, I often sit at about 65,000 views per 28 days. I seem to get around 250 to 260 new subscribers per 28 days. They do it per 28 days, and I can't remember how many minutes watching, but anyway, not to worry. So yeah, look, it's just a slowly growing thing, and it's something I enjoy doing, and I've actually met some people coming into the shop and things like that I would never have met without the channel. And our first major video that we did on doing a fuel injection pump, how to reseal a fuel injection pump, it's up around 510,000 views on its own, that one clip. So on there's a Facebook page called YouTube Machinists, and there's a bit of a thing there. The little people that are up under 1,000, they're demonetising it for them at the moment. But and I don't know, I think my channel got going on one video. I just saw a need for that video to do fuel injection pumps, where it look, you take one near a diesel shop and it's $1,000, and for a $40 kit, $49 or something like that, $40 kit, I can walk you through doing it yourself. So there was a real need for that, and because I got lucky, and that's the word for it, lucky, and I saw a need for that video, I put that out, and around 70% of any revenue that comes from my channel, from advertising, now it's been monetised, actually comes from that one clip alone. So that's just amazing. There's other ones there at 40,000 views and things like that, but it's a standout one, and I know a lot of you come along my way because of that clip. So for the fellas that are having trouble getting going and all that, see if you can work out a thing like that, and you know, something that you really see a need for, and get your channel going. And look, a great example would be Joe Pazinski. And Joe Pazinski's got a YouTube channel, and he's a machinist in Texas, and he puts stuff out there just machining. It's not necessarily making a project or anything like that, but how to, and someone like him that's been in the game for many years, boy, he's got some knowledge up his sleeve. And I've changed my ways. I've actually measured threads with wires and things like that, and I just watched one last night. There was a link to it on YouTube Machinists on holding 3 or 4 dissimilar sized pieces in your vise, and he's made up a little jig. So he's found a niche on how to do stuff. Where A-Bomb's one of the stars of YouTube, A-Bomb 79, and he does interesting stuff about his shop, and a lot of the stuff that he does at work, really big gear. So they're two different channels. Adam knows what he's doing with the big stuff. Joe knows what he's doing with the other, with the setups and some of that sort of thing. It's just as different content, but still with machining. And I think my little channel's chugging along okay. I'm pleased with it. And a lot of the tractor stuff, I know my stuff with the tractors. It's how I kept bread and butter on the table for many years. And the machining for me is a hobby, and it's a way to keep my tractors going. And look, it's a great hobby. I just love fiddling on the mill and the lathe and things like that. So, but look, the channel wouldn't be anywhere without my subscribers. So once again, thanks very much. And whether I had the YouTube channel or not, I'd still be in the shed fiddling with the mill and the lathe. It's just that we've chosen to have a channel and share it. So so it's been a great learning curve. It's to get to 5,000 views, it's 5,000 subscribers. Look, it must be 2.5 or 3 years, something like that, I'd suppose. I haven't really kept track, maybe even 3 years. I haven't really kept track when I got going with it all. There's probably 160, 150 videos out there, something like that, that we've done. So anyway, that's a good thing. I've been watching the 5,000 come up and thinking, oh boy, that'd be good. But the next one's 10,000. Yeah, once you count the 500, then you count the 1,000, then 2,000, 3,000, 4,000. And when you get the 5,000, I think it's against the law to count until you're 10,000. We'll see. We'll see how excited I get about it at the time, but you never know. But this week, I've had a young bloke helping in Bundy Bear's shed. They have a youth boost thing in Australia where it's to get young people into a business like mine, where it gives them a bit of experience, and it's work experience, but it's paid work experience. We don't want people coming into your business and working for nothing. You know, slave labour went out years ago, and so we pay him. The mob that got him in for us, they worked out the award, and it was something like $9.14 an hour. And he's a 17-year-old lad, you know, just about to turn 18. And I thought, God, that's a shitty wage. But anyway, that's how it is. But we put him up to $9.50, and he's only got a few months to go, 6 months, and he turns 18. So then his wage goes up considerably. But it's all about having a go. He's done some nice machining at the school, at Kepnock High School in Bundaberg. They have a good shop course. And I haven't seen it yet, but his parents and that tell me this little machining vise he made there in the classroom at school. They reckon it's a cracker, and he made a boat anchor and some other things. So I've got a young fella helping around, so he knows how to weld and things like that. So hopefully he can help with a few projects, and the benefit I get out of it is I can crack on with some of my jobs and not spend my day cleaning the shed and all that sort of thing. He can do the sweeping when he gets here every morning and things like that. So the agreement is 8 hours labour a week. And but anyway, last week I gave him 2 days work. So I had to work there, and we're actually in the heat. Oh shit, it was hot. Knocking down the trees up the front for the new carports to put the shipping container in, the office from work that I've showed you in the past, and we're going to turn that into a small machine shop with aircon. So, but anyway, the council got onto us last week and said Bundy Bear's shed's too big. They're not sure, or the certifier's not sure he's going to let me build another little carport there. So, and apparently we have 8 acres of land here, and the limit now for domestic use in Bundaberg Council for a small block, small acreage block, is 250 square metres of shed. So Bundy Bear's shed's 300 square metres, and the pool room and the carport, the double carports I have there now, they're another 76 square metres. So I want to put another 36 or 32 or something like that on top. 6 is 36 on top of that. And so anyway, the certifier thought he might get in trouble, so he's bailed. He says, up there. He says, you've got to apply to the council. So now we have to fill out forms, give them an extra heap of money, and the council can come and have a look and make sure that us putting up another double carport is not going to have any impact on our neighbours and the amenity of the area. I thought amenities were shit houses, but but anyway, we have an amenity of the area to look out for, be it shit house or not. And so now we have to pay fees to the council, and the council will come and have a look, and it shouldn't be a worry. Like the block is 120 metres wide, so that's like 130 yards wide, and the carport will be right where the centre line is. It'll be about a metre off or 2 metres off the centre line, so it's nowhere near any neighbours. And so hopefully they let it through with us, and yeah, we'll go from there. I don't know what we'll do otherwise. If they knock us back, I think we'll I've got a couple of plans up my sleeve that I can't really talk about yet. They mightn't like them, but anyway, we'll get there in the long run. So see how we go. Now the tool cutter and grinder here I got the other day. I've been doing quite a lot of fiddling with that, and just Friday, I got a couple of more diamond wheels from China, and I've been doing a fiddle and looking at sharpening drills and things like that, and that drill there, it was a mess. And what I did with that one was I actually set it up to get the 118 degree angle at the top here, and look, it sets the angle perfectly, but this jigger here that they give you, and that sits in the front of your collet, and you radius this to set the back angle or set the clearance on the drill. Well, I found that to be a shit of a thing. I fiddled with it for ages, and it says it'll do up to 18mm drills. Well, I don't know how. And when I was watching Stefan's video on his cutter grinder, he said that was useless, and he sold it, moved it on. And look, I didn't find it very helpful as yet. Perhaps I'm missing something, but what I did, I actually got the old drill doctor here out, and I set the angle on the tool cutter grinder, and look, it does do the angle nicely. So I set that up on there, then I put it in the drill doctor to get the rake. If you didn't have a drill doctor, you could set the angle with it, and then you could just sit it on the grinder and just pop your relief straight in. So all in all, I spent ages on drills this week. I'll show you a couple of bits and pieces. So I've got all the metric ones. I have to replace a couple. I've got all the metric ones done. I have 2 sets of Sutton Imperials. They're both done. And a little tip for the blokes in Australia, at the moment, the trade tools, they have a special on at the moment, and it's I think it's 25-piece drill set, cobalt drills, for $89.10. And I raced into Bundaberg and they'd gone, but they had one in Harvey Bay, so I grabbed that. But tradetools.com, they'll post to you, but they have a web special, $89 for a set of carbide drills, and or cobalt drills, I'm sorry, and they have the purple case. And I looked around town, and just for a set of Barodo, I think that's the name, maybe not, drills, it was $275, and the Suttons were over $300. So I've got a set of them coming. I just thought, yeah, cobalt's a good thing, and so we'll try that. While I was in there, I picked up a few of these Milwaukee Marks or Nico pens, and they reckon you can leave the cap off for 72 hours and all that, and they'll be okay. So time will tell. 4 of them for $6, so that's okay too. I thought that wasn't a bad thing. Now, when we started pulling the office down in at Bundy Bear's shed, or where Queensland Tractor Spares is, more than Bundy Bear's shed, when I started doing that, I needed some drills, so I just whizzed into Trade Tools, and I bought this little set It's 1.5 to 6.5 millimeters, and it's Renegade drills. And Renegade's it's a Trade Tools brand. It says made for tradetools.com, made in PRC, China, People's Republic of China. And but boy, have they been good drills. Like, I was blown away by them. I thought, see, we started off and we were just drilling out rivets, and wherever there was a rivet in the tin work, we needed a little set of drills just to drill the rivets. And rather than come home, Trade Tools is near the workshop there, so I just whizzed around the corner. This was $12, and I grabbed this set of drills, and boy, they've been great. They've done everything. 2 drills I've used out of the whole kit, and they've done everything we've asked of them. Some of the ram set nails that were down into the concrete, we centre punched them and come down the top of them to relieve the head, to lift the frames out of the concrete. We did with these drills. So look, just for a cheap little set of drills to chuck in your toolbox, $12, they're impressive. So the brand of drills, I've got the Renegade ones, they're the Cobalt ones I have coming. And but yeah, for the Aussie blokes at Renegade, look, I was pleasantly surprised. I thought, oh, I'll go and buy some plasticine drills, and they ain't $12. If all shit themselves, it won't matter greatly. And look, I've been wrapped with it. Yeah, they're high speed steel, and they're yeah, they're not alloy. They're not the alloy rubbish. They're yeah, high speed steel. So yeah, great thing. And while I was in there, they had to get set up for the new workshop. I've sold another couple of engines by the look of it, and so yeah, that'll be another $7,000 in the play kitty. And so what we're doing is setting up some tools and things like that for our new workshop for the shipping container one, because I need a full set of tools down here in Bundy Bear's shed for working on tractors and things like that, and I don't want to go up the front 200 metres away just to go and get an Allen key or something like that. So while they've got a few specials on, I picked up some just Renegade again. It's their cheap brand of Allen keys, and metric and imperial. These are just going to be in a toolbox just for using on the lathe for you know, putting tools in the quick change tool posts and things like that, where I put those stainless steel screws in. We'll just use them for that. And look, $11 each. I particularly went for these ones, these sets, and you know, I got one of these in the vise the other day, and I clamped it up and in the vise. Then I upped it and pulled as hard as I could with it, and it spread the jaw of the vise a little bit, but it didn't damage the Allen key at all. So look, I was pleased with that. Yeah, I thought that wasn't a bad thing, because I expected them to be a bit soft because of the price. I expected them to be soft, but I'm not earning my living with them. Like I say, they're only for this set and the other set. They're just going to be in a toolbox with the lathe when it goes up the front, and it'll just be putting lathe tools on and off, which you don't have to rip it up them. You just need to have them nice and firm. So look, that's about all that's happened in Bundy Bear's shed for the week. I do have a few little machining jobs to do, and we're sort of working at getting them set up. One of them is the end housing on a Fergie diesel pump, where we have a heap of slop in there, and I'm thinking of milling up a piece, or machining up a piece of steel, screwing this to it, and then indexing that on a plate here, so I can sit it in the mill. If anyone else has got one to do, I'll have a fixture made for bushing it up. I can just pop it straight in and I'm done. And I'm thinking of making another bracket like that for the Ferguson 24T carbies, where you re-bush them. Set up a bracket so you can pop it in the lathe, just indicate it or clamp it in the vise on the mill, and have one set up that I can do quickly for people. We have a tow hitch, and it's a 5,000 kilo recovery point, and Heyman Reese is a good name in Australia for tow bars, and every vehicle I've ever had's had a Heyman Reese tow bar on it. But when I got the new Triton set up, I bought an Ironman tow bar, and it's a rear protection bar, so it's got a step and it's got little scrub bars around the back so people can't back into your lights and things. And anyway, I believe they're made in Taiwan. That's what the story is anyway. But I'm not 100% sure. But what they've done, they've used a slightly different profile of square to poke these up in. So you poke it up in, and this one has a hole each side so you can grab it whichever way you like. And on the Ironman bar, they've changed they've used probably some Chinese shit, and this has clearance on the sides but not on the corner. So that'll be a job, is just flatten this out a little bit. Now whether I just run through and fly cut it or end mill it or something like that just to relieve it, or what my thoughts were with it was, it's 6061 aluminium, I believe. I was thinking of running one of these little fellas, a little router cutter down it, just to reprofile the edge so it fits in. Haven't made up my mind with that yet. I've been thinking of putting it on a right angle plate on the mill and just chomping along. We'll see, but I might get up to that. That's one of the jobs I'd like to do today. Get this organised so it's in the vehicle, so when we go fishing, 4-wheel driving or whatever, if we do get stuck or we see someone else stuck, we can just slide this in, put the pin in, and away we go. Usually if we go to the beach, I put these in at home. I don't put the D-shackle in because the swinging of the D-shackle will sometimes undo the D-shackle and you'll lose it. So it has here we go, it has a rated 3/4 rated shackle, and that's rated at 4.5 tonne, 4.7 tonne. So usually before we go, if we know we're going to be in a couple of dicky spots, we've got the winch on the front and we've got this out the back, and not only does it save our vehicle, but it can save anyone. Yeah, you see someone stranded, you jump in and help. So we might look at that too. So we'll see what we get up to today. Once again, thanks for the 5,000 subscriptions. Yeah, it wouldn't be half the fun without everyone, and we'll catch you next week, eh? Well, this is the hitch receiver for where we put the tow bars, and this new recovery point just doesn't fit in there. Now, there's plenty of room on the sides, it's just the corners. So the idea is to change the radius of these corners, keep it in focus would be good, change the radius of those corners so it can fit up there and we can put the pin in. We have our little cutter up in here. We're going to run him flat out. We're going to run a bit of coolant. I've got the camera right back out of the way, so hopefully we don't splash shit all up and over the screen. So let's give it a run. Looks to be going well. We've got the rag just to stop the coolant splashing on me. Speed her up a bit. there we go, that's quite a nice finish. I'll just loosen him off here. We've got to turn him around. We've got a bit of steel under here because the radius is around here, so. That's not a bad finish at all, I'm happy with that. Okay, next side. So they should all be the same cut. Okay, we'll run again. This time we'll give you a different view. Okay, we'll swap him around for a very last side. crank him up for the last run. Okay, that's looking good. Might just go and rinse that off. I think we'll go and rinse him off and then we'll go out to the car and see if it fits. Well, there we go. We've got the machined piece. We'll try and keep it in frame. Look at that. That's all it needed. So between the standard Heyman Reese receiver profile and the Ironman profile, the Ironman have a smaller radius in the corner, so anything you buy for an Ironman, if it's a Heyman Reese adapter like this one, no good, won't fit. Anyway, job done. That'll do us for now.